We're working on lesson 8.3 today, which is connecting fractions to division. So you're going to start with a type of division problem that doesn't look like a fraction, but we're going to see how taking the numbers and putting them into fractions is actually pretty simple. So your first step is you're going to take your first number of the problem. So here we have 8 divided by 6. So your first number is going to be your numerator. Your bottom number is going to come from your second number. So when we have 8 divided by 6, 8 is your first number that goes to the top. And your 6, which is your second number, is what goes to the bottom for your denominator. Okay, so you end up with the fraction 8/6. So that is technically your answer, 8/6. Of course, we know that's an improper fraction, and we want to change it into a proper fraction or a mixed number before we can get our final answer. So now we're going to take 8/6 and change that back into a mixed number. You do that pretty simply by dividing, right? So 6 into 8 is what you're going to work on, and you end up with 1 and 2/6, which then becomes 1 and 1/3. Okay, so we're going to do our division breakdown. So 6 is coming from your denominator. The 8 is your numerator. You're dividing 6 into 8, which is 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. You subtract and get 2. 2 is your remainder that goes up top. 6 is your denominator, always. So 2/6 breaks down to 1/3. And that's your final answer. 1 and 1/3. So I'm going to erase this out of the way here. And I will post another link on changing improper fractions back into mixed numbers because that was something that we did last chapter and a little bit the chapter before. So that part of it you should be able to do. Some of you are doing it in your heads, which is great, but write it out next to it if you need to write the numbers down. So again, we're going to go to number 2, 7 divided by 10. We're starting with our first number, which goes to our numerator spot, which is 7. 10 is the second number, which is going to go down to our denominator spot. And we end up with 7/10. 7/10 is a proper fraction, if you will. So 7 is smaller than 10, which means we're done. 7 we know is a prime number, so nothing goes into it. 7/10 is going to be your answer. Okay. Our third one here, we're starting with 12. Our first number goes up top, and our second number goes below. So we have 12/8, which is a fraction. And it's an improper fraction again, so we're going to change it back into a mixed number. So when you have 12/8, let me see if we can see this here. 12/8, and we divide 8 into 12, goes 1 time. 1 times 8 is 8. 12 minus 8 is 4. So 4 is your numerator. The 8 stays the same as your denominator, so we have 1 and 4/8, which 4/8 we know can be reduced. You can probably do that one in your head. If not, 4 goes into 8 2 times, which gives us 1/2. And our answer is 1 and 1/2. Okay? All right, so I'm going to leave the color-coded side up here for you to refer back to. And then for the second set of numbers, I'm just going to write down your answers. So 8 is your first number. 8 goes up top. And 3 is your second number, 3 goes on the bottom. So we have 8 over 3, 8/3, which is improper, and we're going to divide 3 into 8 goes 2 times. 2 times, down here, 8/3, 2, and 2/3. So we have 2 and 2/3 as our answer. I'm trying to see if it's big enough on your screen. It should be. And like I said, check out the link to the Khan video if you need extra support in changing your improper fraction into a mixed number. Okay. Number 5, we have 2 divided by 5. 2 is your first number that goes up top. 5 is your second number that goes on the bottom. 2/5 is your final answer. Okay, 2 does not go into 5, so we know it can't be reduced any further. And our final problem here, number 6, 6 divided by 9. 6 is your first number that goes on top. 9 is your second number that goes on the bottom. 6/9 can be reduced. We know that 3 goes into both 6 and 9, so when we reduce that, 3 goes into 6 2 times, 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 2/3 is your final answer for that problem. Okay, so with all of these problems, from division into a fraction, we're just remembering our steps that your first number is what goes up top, your second number is what goes on the bottom. You're going to end up with improper fractions for some of them that you're going to turn into a mixed number when you get that as your answer. For those that are a regular fraction as your answer, sometimes they have to be reduced. Sometimes that is your final answer. Okay. All right, good luck on your Google form for 8.3, and please make sure you submit it when you finish.